Here she is, the Golden Goose, the KGB, Gusta Rhymes, the content queen from the Times Union and TimesUnion.com. Christy Gustafson Barletti, good morning. Thanks for coming up here.
Good morning. Thank you for having me up here.
So this is a little bit of a drive for you, right? From Averill Park. You had to go across the river and up, right? Or no?
I had to go over the river and through the woods.
Get
here.
Through the twins.
My husband left me with a car with no gas in it, and I'm thinking I'm going to be late. And did not. This is why I need coffee.
So Rich left you with a car on empty?
Well, yes, because I had to take his car because he needs my car to take our kids to school.
Are you going to blog about him? Are you going to put him on blast?
I'm going to blog about him. I'm going to Facebook about him, and I'm going to talk about him on the radio. He left me on E.
Let me ask you this: so
that's bad,
is real bad, like below E.
Is your husband who you're going to blog about, right? And you're going to put him on blast, and 1,000 readers are going to just literally hate you and hate him. All right, there is no right. Do you then go home and continue this conversation with him, or is it over once you blog it?
Oh, no, I already took a picture and texted it to him and said, you call this a quarter of a tank, while I was trying to fill up at the gas station because I wasn't going to make it here if I did not stop for gas.
Yeah, but you didn't answer my question, though. When you get home, is it over, or is it just beginning right now?
It's been going, and that's what I'm saying. We'll discuss the photo. I'll think about how I can leave him on E.
Now, can he leave comments on the blog, or do you not allow that?
Yeah, how can we save Rich?
You can't.
I would be so afraid if I screwed up. And by the way, this is I'm sorry that you have to even imagine coming home to me. But could you imagine if
that's not everybody
nightmare?
Imagine if I ever screwed up at home and I knew that Christy was blogging about me, and I knew I had to come home to face your wrath. I would literally start apartment hunting before you even got home.
Wait, but think of this, like you're on the radio, so everybody's fair game. So if somebody messes up in your world, technically you could also do the same thing.
I know, but I'm not Christy Gustafson.
That's fair.
Barletti. Anyways, okay. So we thought it would be interesting for you to do some content for this while we're broadcasting live at the Clifton Park Dunkin' Donuts, our hometown hello tour, to do something that's sort of innovative and different and unique to Clifton Park, and I'll let you take it from there.
Yes, we were talking the other day about Clifton Park and Clifton Park's history, and I think Clifton Park has changed a lot, even in the last decade, but especially the last, say, 2 or 3 decades. So we talked about it and thought about some things that have changed in the way Clifton Park was versus the way Clifton Park is now, where it's just this huge town. I think it's 10,000, right?
Yeah, close to 30,000, but close to 10,000 at Shenandoah alone.
That's right. I heard that number this morning with a supervisor. So we looked at it and we looked back a little bit to kind of say, remember when. So speaking of
Take us down a Clifton Park journey.
Clifton Park history.
Memory lane, if
right.
you will.
This will be great for me because I grew up in Mechanicville. This was our mall. This was our place to go. So go ahead.
Yeah. Well, you talked about the school with the 10,000 people, but do you remember when there were only 2 elementary schools instead of 8?
No.
Now, I can't name the 2 like the supervisor was able to name the 2 middle schools.
Hoda and Codby, I think it is. Hoda and Codby.
Kathy Lee came later, I think.
How long ago was that?
And then Savannah. Let me think. One of my friends she grew up in the 80s and she remembers 2 schools.
Right. Wow. Well, the boom here happened, he said, around 88, 89.
Yeah, late 80s.
Okay, so that would make sense because she was in the 80s when she was in elementary school.
25, 30 years ago. We're talking 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Clifton Park, I know you talked about the mall with him too, but Clifton Park Center was Clifton Park Mall. It was fully enclosed, so you couldn't get into from the outside. And then there were stores like Lerner, The Gap, Deb, Weather Vane. And then there was this.
Remember the Weather Vane?
Weather Vane, which isn't even, not the
Clifton
restaurant
Country
Weather
Mall.
Vane, but the store. And then there was this prom dress store, and I don't remember.
I think it was called Jocelyn's.
I think it was too, but I'm not positive.
Because I think we got our prom dresses there.
And we came here all the way from Averill Park to get our prom dresses at Jocelyn's.
That's so funny. And there was a ground round inside there, too. We would go there a lot.
What's Lerner now?
Popcorn.
Yes.
I wonder.
Lerner is now New York and Company. It's not. I don't think it's in that mall anymore, but it's still a store. It just has changed names. But the Weather Vane, and I don't even think Deb is open anymore.
No, one of the ones I remember Remember When Clifton Park has to be, and I know a lot of people will think of this, is where Vent Fitness is now, which used to be Gold's Gym. That was like Starburst roller rink.
Yeah.
And they had the beige skates with the orange wheels, and we would go there every other weekend with my dad. And I remember we would skate, and the parents would stay in the practice rink and smoke.
So,
like,
of
you could
course
just
they did.
do whatever you wanted. Remember that? Starburst was like my place.
What year are you talking? Because I remember
80s.
Okay, when we used to go to roller ramas and roller, I remember, for whatever reason, the song that pops out in my mind was "Angel is a Centerfold."
Yes, okay. Jay Giles Band.
Jay Giles Band?
Yes, of course.
And like Jesse's
so
Girl.
that's like
Rick Springfield, Jesse's Girl.
84, 85.
Yep.
And we would lock your lockers. Like, I just remember that. And then I started working out at Gold's Gym when it was Gold's Gym, and I was like, nah.
Can't do it, right?
It's not the same.
All right, we're with Christy Gustafson Barletti, Times Union, timesunion.com. Let's do one more. Take us down a trip down memory lane, Clifton Park.
What about one from a reader? I think readers and listeners had some good memories.
There were some restaurants that have been changed over since back in the day, and some bars too. There was a restaurant called Chaucer's, which was where Lowe's is now.
Yes, I remember that.
Do you remember Chaucer's?
I do.
We had our soccer banquets there.
The refrigerators used to they used to literally rent out that place every Friday and Saturday night in certain winter months. That's how big of a band they were.
Wow.
And they used to call it like, it was like Club Burn, but it was at Chaucer's.
Okay.
And Friday and Saturday, I want to say in like January and February, they used to get between 500 and 1,000 people there.
Wow.
Like it was like their residency, for crying
So
out
good.
loud. Yeah, it was crazy.
A little fun fact: my mom was actually a hostess there.
Okay.
At one point.
And one reader said that he had his prom there, I think, or his prom after party. That was
Chaucer's.
apparently the place to
Chaucer's.
be.
Then there was Charities Bar, which I think was on Route 9, and the Castilian. And the only reason why I know those two bars is because that's where my parents will go.
I gotcha.
Almost every weekend.
I gotcha.
So there's a lot of history here for me growing up. Clifton Country Mall, though, you can't get any better than that.
And Upstate Concert Hall was Northern Lights, and that wasn't that long ago
That's
either.
That's the hardest Clifton Park change that I have. I can't ever. I'm always like Northern Lights. No. Upstate Concert Hall. Like, I mean, for me, it's like the equivalent of saying like Knickerbocker Arena or Pepsi Arena. Which
Don't you dare.
Which I don't.
Times
Times
Union Center.
By the way, one more little known fun fact about Clifton Park.
Yes.
Before divorce number 1, this is where I lived.
Yes, that's right. 7 years. High five.
And then divorce number 2, number 3, number 4. Wow. Brian pretty soon's going to have to leave the capital region because there's nowhere else for him to live.
That's true.
That's so nice.
Our hometown hello tour will always have to include a stop where I used to live before one of my many divorces. Right, Christy? Boy, you're a class act.